Listen to me, every goal has a price tag. Every dream you write down, every vision you speak out loud, it comes with a cost. You can't swipe your card for success and walk away smiling. You've got to pay in full, and the currency is sacrifice, discipline, and consistency. Everybody says they want success until they see the bill. You say you want to be great. You say you want to be the best. Then you've got to be willing to pay what greatness costs, because greatness is expensive and it never goes on sale. You can't say you want to win and still keep cheap habits. You can't talk about elevation while living on discounts of effort. Some of you want first-class results on a coach class work ethic. It doesn't work that way. The universe doesn't hand out trophies for showing up halfway. It rewards those who pay in sweat, not words. You want to know what the price tag says. It says early mornings. It says late nights. It says no excuses. It says pain, patience, and perseverance. It says you're going to have to give up comfort, give up sleep, give up approval, because every goal is going to test what you're willing to lose in order to win. You can't get the body without the gym. You can't get the degree without the discipline. You can't get the dream without the daily grind. You can't talk about success if you're not willing to sacrifice. The people you admire, the ones who inspire you, they didn't just wake up there. They paid for it. They paid when it was uncomfortable. They paid when no one believed in them. They paid when it looked like it wasn't worth it. See, the problem isn't that your goal is impossible. It's that you keep trying to get it on clearance. You keep hoping there's a shortcut. You keep asking, is there an easier way? Let me help you, there is no easier way. There's only the right way, and that way costs everything. And here's the truth, the price never goes down. The longer you wait, the higher it gets. Every day you procrastinate, every excuse you make, the interest builds. You think you're saving energy by not grinding today. No, you're stacking debt, and one day life's going to collect. So you've got to decide, are you willing to pay the price today, or are you going to live forever owing tomorrow? There's a reason champions wake up before the sun, they're paying early. There's a reason winners stay up grinding when everyone else is asleep, they're paying extra. Because they know success doesn't take IOU. It doesn't care how much potential you have. It only counts what you deposit in work. Listen, stop complaining about how hard it is. The pain is the price. The doubt is the price. The grind is the price. The price tag on every goal is labeled pressure. But that pressure is what produces the diamond. You can't want the shine and reject the squeeze. You say, it's taking too long. Yeah, because you're still paying in installments. You give effort one day, quit the next, and then wonder why the goal isn't yours yet. Let me tell you something, the dream doesn't release the product until the full amount clears. If you really want it, stop negotiating. Pay it in full. Pay it with consistency. Pay it with commitment. Pay it with sacrifice. You don't get to pay half and expect the whole blessing. You don't get to skip payments and keep the progress. Every time you feel like quitting, remind yourself, the price you're paying is the proof you're getting closer. The struggle isn't punishment, it's the receipt. It's the universe saying, I see you working. Keep going. You can't cheat the process. You can't borrow discipline. You can't fake focus. Either you pay or you don't. And if you don't pay, you don't play. It's that simple. So here's the question. What are you willing to give up to go up? What habits are you willing to kill? What comfort are you willing to lose? What distractions are you willing to delete? Because until you make the payment, the goal stays locked. Let me be real with you, there's going to come a day when the grind feels too heavy, when the cost feels unfair. That's the moment most people quit, but that's also the moment winners double down. They don't run from the price, they raise the payment. They say, if it costs more, I'll give more. If it takes longer, I'll stay longer. You've got to make up your mind that whatever it costs, you'll pay it. Whatever it takes, you'll do it. Because when you finally cross that finish line, when you finally hold that trophy, when you finally reach that goal, it'll hit you. Every ounce of pain was worth the price. And that's when you'll understand why most people never make it. It's not because they're not capable. It's because they keep walking away at the counter saying it's too expensive. But you can't do that anymore. You've come too far to stop now. Look, the dream is still waiting. The only question left is, are you still willing to pay the tag on it? Listen to me, you can't pay for tomorrow with yesterday's effort. You can't deposit old grind and expect new results. The rent for greatness isn't paid once, it's due every single day. Yesterday was good, cool, you worked hard, that's cute. But guess what? That was yesterday. The clock reset. The sun came up again. The world don't care what you did, it wants to know what you're doing now. That's the problem with most people. They keep trying to cash an old effort like it's still worth something. You can't live off last week's hustle. You can't eat today off yesterday's meal. Every new level demands a fresh payment. The price doesn't carry over. You hit the gym yesterday. Good, but today's body still needs work. You studied hard last month. Great, but this test is new. You pushed through last season. Beautiful, but this season has new challenges, new demands, new battles. You can't conquer new territory with old energy. You've got to show up every day like the bill just came due because it did. That's how life works. Success doesn't offer credit. It doesn't do payment plans. It charges daily interest. Every sunrise is a new invoice, and only the disciplined pay on time. That's why you can't afford to get comfortable. Comfort is the thief of progress. The moment you say, I made it, is the moment you start losing it. The second you think you've done enough, you start falling behind. Because while you're relaxing, somebody else is grinding. While you're celebrating, somebody's preparing. While you're taking a break, somebody's taking your spot. You ever wonder why people rise fast and then disappear? Because they stopped paying. They thought yesterday's grind was enough to buy tomorrow's success. But the truth is the game doesn't stop. Life keeps moving. Goals keep evolving. And if you stop growing, you start dying. You can't let your past effort become your present excuse. You can't keep telling yourself, I've already done so much. That's what comfort sounds like. That's what mediocrity whispers right before it kills your momentum. Listen, I'm not saying yesterday doesn't matter, it does. It built your foundation, but foundations aren't the finish line. They're just the start. Yesterday got you here, but it can't take you there. Yesterday gave you a name. Today will decide if you keep it. You've got to wake up every morning with something to prove, not to other people, but to yourself. You've got to prove you can still grind. You can still grow. You can still stay hungry when you've already eaten, because that's what separates champions from one. Hit wonders, the great ones, they don't coast off past wins. They reset every day. You think Kobe stopped shooting because he dropped 60 last game. You think Serena stopped training because she won one championship. No, they got right back to work. They understood the game don't care what you did yesterday. It only respects what you do today. That's the mentality you need. You can't be the person who brags about what you used to do. I used to grind. I used to hustle. I used to wake up early. Used to, that means you stopped. That means you quit paying. You've got to be the one who says, I'm still at it. I'm still locked in. I'm still paying the price every day, every hour, every breath. That's how you stay relevant. That's how you stay dangerous. And I know it's hard. I know it's exhausting to keep going when you already gave everything yesterday. But that's what makes it worth it. Because success doesn't belong to the person who had the energy, it belongs to the one who finds it again. Every morning you've got to renew your commitment. Every day you've got to earn your spot again. You don't get to keep success, you get to rent it, and the rent is due daily. You can't pay once and keep the keys. You can't grind one season and expect the reward forever. That's not how greatness works. Greatness is a daily decision. It's the choice to wake up and pay again, even when you're tired, even when you're sore, even when nobody's watching. Some of you worked hard once and thought that was enough. You said, I've already sacrificed, but let me tell you something. If your dream is still alive, the payment plan's still active, you don't graduate from discipline. You don't retire from effort. As long as you've got breath, the bill's still coming, and that's a good thing, because every time you pay again, you grow. Every day you show up, you get sharper, stronger, tougher. You earn a little more self-respect. You build a little more character. The payment doesn't just cost you something, it changes you. That's the secret right there. The grind isn't punishment, it's process. It's how life shapes you into the person capable of holding the blessing you've been asking for. So stop asking, why is it so hard? It's hard because you're leveling up. Stop saying, I already did my part. No, your part's not over until you become everything you said you would be. You can't pay for tomorrow with yesterday's effort. Yesterday's payment got you here, but if you want to stay here or go further, you've got to pull out the card again and swipe today. Listen to me, the price for success is paid in private. The applause, the spotlight, the trophies, that's what the world sees, but the cost, that's what they don't. Everybody wants to be seen winning, but nobody wants to go unseen while working. Everybody loves the shine, but nobody loves the shadows. You say you want greatness, then understand this. You've got to pay for it in the dark before you ever earn the light. People think success happens overnight, but that's because they only see the highlight reel. They see the victory lap, not the lonely mornings. They see the celebration, not the preparation. They see the glory, but not the grind. They don't see the nights you cried, the times you doubted, the sacrifices nobody clapped for. The price is paid when you show up tired. It's paid when you stay consistent even though nobody's watching. It's paid when you work your craft, when you stay focused, when you keep believing even when it feels like nobody else does. You want to know why most people quit? Because they can't handle being invisible. They want validation too soon. They want people to notice them before they've earned it. But listen, the darkness isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's where you build the discipline to carry the weight of the light. You've got to be okay with being unseen while you're being shaped. You've got to learn how to clap for yourself when nobody else is clapping. You've got to keep showing up when it looks like it's not working, because that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Persistence in private. The ones who make it, they grind quietly. They don't need to announce every move. They don't post every rep. They don't need likes to keep going. They understand results make the loudest noise. Listen, the private work is what gives public power. Every late night you put in, every early morning you suffer through, every time you say no to distractions, you're building something the world can't see yet. But trust me, when it's time, the world will. Because when you've paid enough in private, your reward comes with interest. People start asking, how did you do it? They start saying, you changed overnight. And you'll just smile because you know it didn't happen overnight. It happened over years of silent struggle, quiet focus, and unseen consistency. That's what I love about the grind. It doesn't lie. It keeps receipts. You can't fake it. You can't skip steps. You can't cheat the dark and expect to own the light. The work you put in behind closed doors always shows up when the doors open. When you're alone, that's when character is built. That's when you decide who you are, not when everybody's watching, but when no one's watching. That's where self-discipline is born. That's where hunger is tested. That's where dreams either die or develop. The world will test you in private before it celebrates you in public. The darkness is the proving ground. That's where you learn to trust the process. That's where you build endurance, integrity, focus. Because when the lights finally hit, if you haven't built those things, the pressure will crush you. Let me tell you, everybody wants the platform, but not everyone can handle the process. The process humbles you. It breaks you down. It makes you question everything: your talent, your strength, your worth. But if you keep paying through that process, if you stay consistent in that quiet space, the reward is going to be louder than any pain you ever felt. The problem with most people is they stop in the shadows. They give up before the light ever comes. They think the silence means failure, but silence just means it's still growing. You don't dig up a seed just because it hasn't sprouted. You water it, you wait, and you believe. The same with your dream. You've got to water it in private. You've got to protect it in private. You've got to work it in private. Because when it finally blooms, it's going to be too powerful for anyone to ignore. You've got to stop chasing attention and start chasing mastery. Don't work to be seen, work to be solid. Don't grind for applause, grind for excellence. Because when you become excellent, the world has no choice but to find you. Listen, there's a moment coming where everything you've done in private is going to speak for you. The hours nobody saw, the tears nobody knew about, the discipline nobody praised, it's all going to show up in your performance. You won't even have to say a word. Your success will do the talking. So if you're in the dark right now, keep going. If nobody sees you, keep going. If nobody believes in you, keep going. The dark doesn't mean you're behind, it means you're becoming. Because when the light finally shines, when the world finally sees what you've been working on, they'll call it a miracle, but you'll know it was never magic. It was the price you paid in private. So stop posting your potential and start producing in silence. Stop begging for eyes and start building your excellence. Because when the moment comes, when it's your turn, you won't need to prove anything. The proof will already be in your performance. Listen to me, you've got to stop complaining about the cost and start counting the value. Everybody wants the dream, but the moment they see what it costs, they start whining. It's too hard, it's taking too long, it's not fair. Let me tell you something, nothing worth having is cheap. Everything valuable in this life comes with a price tag. The bigger the dream, the higher the cost. The question is, are you focused on what it costs or what it's worth? Because if you keep crying about the price, you'll never own the promise. If all you can see is the pain, you'll never experience the power. The people who win in life don't have it easier, they just learned how to see the value beyond the struggle. You've got to stop saying, why me, and start saying, try me. Stop seeing your effort as a burden and start seeing it as an investment. Every hour you grind, every tear you shed, every time you sacrifice sleep, that's equity. That's value stacking. You're not losing time, you're buying your freedom. You're not missing out, you're leveling up. You keep complaining that success costs too much, but listen, mediocrity costs more. Regret costs more. Wasted potential costs more. You're going to pay either way. The only difference is what you get in return. You can pay now with discipline or pay later with disappointment. You've got to shift your mindset from expense to investment. When you pay in sacrifice, you get back strength. When you pay in discipline, you get back direction. When you pay in consistency, you get back confidence. The pain you feel now, that's not loss, that's the price of progress. Everybody wants to talk about the grind, but few want to live it. They look at the process and call it painful, but the greats look at the same process and call it proof. Proof that they're growing, proof that they're changing, proof that they're getting closer. So stop complaining about the cost. Stop talking about how much it hurts. Stop saying it's not fair. You're right, it's not fair. Life's not fair, but neither is greatness. Greatness doesn't belong to the people who cry about how hard it is. It belongs to the ones who decide it's worth it anyway. You've got to learn to find gratitude in the grind. Every challenge, every setback, every moment of pain, it's teaching you something. It's building muscle. It's shaping character. It's turning you into someone capable of carrying the blessing you've been praying for. Because here's the truth, the version of you that started the journey isn't strong enough to handle the reward. The grind changes that, the cost changes that, the fire forges that. You can't skip the pain and still keep the power. Stop focusing on how hard it is and start focusing on how far you've come. Stop crying about what you're losing and start celebrating what you're becoming. The cost is temporary, the value is forever. And the reason so many people quit is because they confuse the two. They think the pain they're in now is permanent, but it's not. The struggle is seasonal, but the success it produces lasts a lifetime. You've got to remind yourself the pain you feel today is the down payment for the peace you'll feel tomorrow. The hours you're working now are the foundation for the freedom you're building later. Every ounce of energy you pour out is coming back multiplied if you don't quit. You say it hurts, good, that means it's working. You say you're tired, good, that means you're moving. You say it's heavy, good, that means you're carrying something that matters. Stop comparing your cost to someone else's. Stop looking at their chapter 20 when you're still writing chapter 3. You don't know what they paid to get there. You don't know the nights they cried, the friends they lost, the sacrifices they made. The price looks different for everyone, but the principle is the same. You get what you pay for. So when you start to feel the weight of it, when you feel like it's too much, stop and ask yourself, what's this worth to me? If it's worth your future, your freedom, your legacy, then you pay it. You pay it gladly, because once you pay the price, no one can take that from you. And when the moment finally comes, when you cross the finish line, when the vision becomes real, you won't even remember the cost. You'll look back and realize the pain was part of the process, the tears were part of the triumph, the struggle was part of the story. That's why the greats don't complain about the price, they count the value. They look at what they've become, what they've built, and they say it was worth every drop of sweat. You've got to be that person, the one who stops saying, why is this so hard, and starts saying, it's hard because I'm built for it. The one who stops asking, how long will it take, and starts saying, as long as it takes. The one who stops saying, it's too expensive, and starts saying, the reward is priceless. Because once you start counting value instead of cost, something changes inside of you. You stop seeing obstacles, you start seeing opportunity. You stop feeling sorry, you start feeling strong. You stop waiting for easy, you start embracing purpose. And that's when the breakthrough happens. That's when you stop chasing the dream and start living it.